It worked. You know what worked?
Huh.
This worked.
Oh, Jesus.
I just put the button on there. Hey, everybody, welcome to the Side Quest. It is... Oh, disappeared off the... There we go. It's ya boy, Dali, learning how to use garbage like OBS and Discord and streaming stuff. Also joining me, the one, the only Twitch affiliate superstar, Erron Scrattybones Killer! Erron the Killer Kelly!
Just the two of us. We can make it if we try. I don't know any more of the words
Yeah, I
to
think
that
it's
song.
I also know just the two of us, you and I. And that's all I got. That's it, everybody.
Hey,
We're
what's
gonna
up?
talk about good stuff. Hey, how's it going, Aaron?
It's all right.
It's all right. Good. I'm trying to.
I'm really glad we postponed because I woke up Wednesday with my sinuses filled with blood.
Oh, dude. How come? First of all, how come you're always getting sick?
I weirdly because I get little stuff that I get over in like a day,
Mm-hmm.
and it's years between like something that'll like seriously knock me out. Like
Oh,
if I get
jeez.
really sick, it's rare and bad.
Oh, that's not
And then
fun.
I need new blankets and
You burn everything that's old and start all over again.
but yeah, so I'm glad we postponed.
That's good. Yeah, we were gonna do it on Wednesday, and then we said, let's just do it Friday because yesterday I was at a comedy event, and I think a couple folks were out yesterday as well. So
And every show ever happens on Thursdays.
yeah, everybody else's show happens on Thursdays, so we'll do either Wednesdays or Fridays. Friday night fights. I'm just tweeting this out. I'm gonna say,
Nice.
hey we're not gonna be fighting though. Hey everybody. I spoke about it. So hey, games.
Hey, video games.
First of all, besides getting deathly ill, did you have a good week?
Yeah. Yeah, it's been a nice chill week. They're doing road construction out front of my store, which means I've had no customers, which means I get to sit around and mess around on my laptop pretty much all day and get
Ooh.
paid for it.
Okay, that's always good. That's good.
Yeah. What about you? How's your week been?
Good. Kind of like the last busy, post move-in shit that we had to do. Like we had a couple events over the last few days. We had a big family event today, which I finally got home from at my parents' house. Lots of drinking, and so I'm a little bit buzzed already. And we had a comedy show that we went to yesterday, and then I was just beat on Wednesday. So yeah, it was good to postpone it. But I think things have slowed down enough where stuff's kind of, I'm fingers crossed, it's back to normal. I mean, I got a little bit of cleanup to do yet around the house. There's still like a couple boxes here and there of stuff that I want to go through, but in no rush to go through those things. Moving in, folks, it's been 43 days since we started moving in. It's still moving in. It takes a while, but we're getting there.
I've been in my new apartment since September 1st, and I still haven't fully unpacked.
Okay.
No. Yeah, just can't be bothered.
That's quite all right.
At some point over the next year, I'll go, oh, I need a thing. I think that's still in a box, and that will be why I unpack the final box.
Yeah. I've realized I'm missing 2 amiibo that I thought I had.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, well, I went through my list of all the amiibo that I own, and I'm like, all right, I never had one, or I've misplaced my Dr. Mario amiibo. Luckily, those just got they're starting to make them again. The Smash Brothers ones.
So if you can't find them, you'll just buy them.
I'll just buy them. Yeah. I have
Hey,
I think the entire Smash Brothers set.
Do they do anything anymore? Like, has a game come out in like the last 2 years that uses amiibos?
Link's
I guess
Awakening.
Starlink.
That Starlink game kind of did. No, wait, no, that did. That used the weird kind of amiibo knockoff stuff. I mean, Mario Maker did, I think, right? It just let you use power ups.
Yeah, Mario Maker came out like 3 years ago, didn't it?
The Mario Maker 2 came out this year, and everybody already forgot about it.
Yeah.
I think Fire Emblem actually uses it too. So they kind of do use it, but it's no longer, a big feature. It's like, oh, hey, you can get a heart, you can get a rupee once per day if you buy this amiibo. But
or in the case of Breath of the Wild 1, put these on your thing and we'll give you crazy treasures that let you speed run the game in 12 minutes.
That's what I kind of like. So I got all the I got a bunch of the Zelda ones, or the Link Zelda ones, and I got a couple of the newer Breath of the Wild ones. So I'll be dropping those bad boys on there. I haven't played Breath of the Wild in probably since about a month and a half after launch. I haven't touched it since then. I'm nowhere near completing it. So it's been like, oh god, like what? Let's see, that came out in 2017. Over 2 years now since I've played Breath of the Wild. I still fucking love it, but I gotta get back into that game because it's my goal to complete it.
That was the game where I discovered that I can't hold a Switch.
That's true. Yeah.
I made it out of the cave at the very beginning, and I ran down the hill, and I fought like one thing, and that took me about 20 minutes, and then I couldn't hold the damn Switch anymore. So
you said forget about it.
Pretty much, and then I sold it.
And then you sold it. That's good. That's fine. That works. Until they get a bigger Switch. I mean, they have the bigger sort of control clip-on thing, but it's good. That's fine. That works. Until they get a bigger.
No,
Switch.
I had the little like
bigger sort of
like
control
the Joy-Con holster
thing,
that it was shaped like a controller, and you would slide the two Joy-Cons in, and you'd be holding it like this. But it was still like too small.
Oh shit!
Like the sticks on the Joy-Cons and the buttons are just so close together that it's like you're still doing this. You're just doing it like a controller. Yeah. Give me a Pro controller that is the size of a Duke.
You just wanted to give me the new Duke. What would they call it on Nintendo? They wouldn't call it the Duke.
Probably the Kirby.
The Kirby. I like that.
Or the DDD because he's big.
Yeah, the DDD. They call it the K Rule.
Oh no, we're idiots. It's not the Duke. It's the Kong.
Oh yeah, it'd be the Kong. Wow, we're slow today, man. We're out of it.
Yeah. Whoa. Obviously, it would be the Kong.
Anyway, the Kong. Welcome to the Kong.
Yeah, give me one of those.
In the show notes right away. We're starting with the Kong.
The Kong.
The Kong. So we're going to talk about the games we've been playing. I've been playing a bunch. I don't know how much you've been playing.
I've been playing exactly one.
Is it the big one? Or no?
No. I'll have that next week.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, no, I've been playing. I'll just go first because
yeah.
I'm not super far into. So I've been playing Stranded Sails.
Okay.
I'm playing it for a review. That game is a slow burn.
Oh, is it really?
Oh yeah, yeah. That game, it's super weird. That game starts you off. You're in like what I assume is like like colonial times England, maybe. You get on a tall ship with your dad and like nine other crew members because you're sailing to a better life. And then you get caught in like a tropical storm and you land on a deserted island. And it's like, hey, run around and do some stuff. And you do that and you rescue like two of the crew. And they're like, hey, let me teach you how to plant crops. I'm like, great, absolutely. And so you do that. And then you get more tasks and eventually you rescue all of the crew. And this is like, I assume the opening of the game. But at this point, you're like 2 or 3 hours in. And it's like, hey, here's a rowboat. Now you got to row across the sea to the other islands. And it's really choppy, so you got to have food to regain your stamina. Otherwise, you'll be super tired when you get there. And that's no good, because if you run out of stamina, you pass out. And it's like, go find these 3 items. And I don't have the right food. So it's like I row across the sea because you get a treasure map. And it's like, oh, it's back on that island that I barely got to. So I'll just row over there. And your stamina decreases when you walk, and it decreases faster when you run. It's like, well, I'll eat the food I can carry, but I can only carry 4 pieces of food. So it's just like it's just like task after task. It feels after like task, and it's slow.
It kind of feels unbalanced, causing it to be that slow in a weird way. It sounds like it, at least.
Well, it's weird because it's like I bet I could grind and like really improve myself. So like one of the mechanics in the game, once you start growing food, is there's like a big stew pot. It's like you can throw ingredients into the stew pot and make a stew for all the crew and they'll be happy. And as you do that like 2 or 3 times, and there's a little heart meter that goes up, and it goes up more if you pick like the person's favorite food to match it to them or whatever. And then every time it goes up, like one of them gives you an upgrade. And it's like, oh, here's a slot for you. Now you can carry 5 pieces of food because I gave you an open sardine tin or whatever. And it's like, okay, so I guess maybe I could just not progress the game and just do that like a bunch. But I haven't done it yet.
Hmm.
It plays fine.
Yeah.
The farming is good. It feels like one of those games.
One of those games.
Like the thing I'm
Yeah.
interested in right now is like the items that I'm supposed to collect are for the ship's blacksmith to reforge a sword for me.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess that means there'll be combat at some point, but I haven't seen any monsters.
Hmm.
I found a cave and I ran around in it for a while, and I got like a bunch of metal from the cave, and it's like, well, why don't you just make me a new sword, blacksmith? Here's all this metal. But I guess that's not good enough.
So if I'm trying to picture this game. I mean, the game's been out for about a week or so now, I think, right? I mean,
Picture sorry, I've got something in my throat. Picture like Rune Factory.
Okay. All right.
Something like that, but I haven't unlocked the combat yet, and all I'm doing is farming.
So you're starting off the game stranded on an island, and you have to. It falls on you to like essentially farm and get shit together for all these people that are on there.
Yeah, so the setup is like you're on this tiny little deserted island, and you manage to escape from it to this bigger deserted island because that's where the wreckage of the ship leads you.
Mm-hmm.
And you run up the coast, and you find like the front half of the fucking ship embedded in the sand, and your dad's inside on a bed, and he's been injured. Your dad's the captain.
Okay.
And he's like injured, so he's like, you got to do this.
You got to
go out and do it,
son. This is what I've raised you for.
Pretty much. And then you come back and you're like, all right, man, I did it. And he's like, oh, ow, I'm still so hurt. Oh, it hurts. Go do this next thing. And it's like, all right, I see your game, old man. But yeah, I mean, it seemed lighthearted. Like, you know, there was a massive shipwreck and the entire crew was scattered, and you just go out in a little rowboat and find them, and they all come back. They're like, hey, thanks. You can build them some houses. They're like,
so the rest of the crew leaves the island?
The rest of the crew, like, I guess when the ship exploded in the storm, they all got scattered to all these different islands around this main island.
Oh. So you may have to find them at some point, I'm taking it then?
Yeah, it's one of the first tasks. It's like, hey, this parrot showed up and it's got a message in its mouth, and it's like, oh, give me that message, parrot, and you open it up. Yeah, and it's like one of your crew, and he's like, hey, I'm stuck on this island. Come get me. It's like, you know, it's that kind of tone. You go get him, and he's all sunburned. He's like, it hurts. now go find my fishing rod.
When's the setting for this? Is
it seems like it's colonial times.
Okay.
Like they're all dressed sort of that way, and
there's no cell towers anywhere.
No, and like you're sailing on a tall ship, so, or a caravel, I suppose. It only has like 2 masts, but
I'm real curious to see how the game kind of grows, and what I mean by that is farming, and then I'm assuming you'll get some combat in there to like start killing animals and stuff, and like, what would the end game be? Would the end game be to like build a ship and get off the island?
Well, that's what I'm wondering. Like if I get this sword, are they going to be like, all right, now you can go into the caves and there's monsters and go collect all this stuff, and we're going to rebuild a ship and then we'll sail to our destination? Or is it like, am I near the, you know, I'm just wondering, like, am I past the halfway point?
Sure.
I've rescued the crew.
Sure.
Like I got an achievement for getting all the different types of seeds of food just from running around getting the crew. So it's like, well, that seems like a lot. But no, I mean, like, it's a slow burn, but it seems fine.
Okay, I like that. Yeah. Erron Kelly's review of Stranded Sails: it seems fine.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. That's it. That's all you've been playing.
Yeah, that's it. Pretty much. I'm waiting on Death Stranding.
Okay.
I'll have it, cause it's weird because I'm getting a physical copy. And physical copies don't ship. Like packages don't ship here on weekends.
Sure.
And Monday's a holiday, so they also don't ship.
Here. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. So, Remembrance Day for you guys, Veterans Day for us.
Yep.
Okay. So it'll show up at some point later on next week.
Yeah. It should be here Wednesday or Thursday.
Okay. If it shows up Wednesday, and if we're recording Wednesday night, that might give you like an hour's worth of game time to
Dude, if it shows up Wednesday night, I might put my TV stand right behind me
That'd be awesome.
and just play it off my webcam while we're doing the show.
That's fantastic. That's fantastic. I like that.
I think that'd be very funny. If I could get a 2-screen setup for my PlayStation, like if I could figure out how to split that signal so I could have it on one of my monitors and on the TV, just play it.
You might be able to.
I might have the cords. I don't know. I'll have to look into
HDMI
it.
signal. Okay. Cool. Good. All right, Stranded Sales, and you're playing that on PC, right?
Yes, that is on Steam.
They gave us a PS4 code too, or didn't they?
I didn't redeem the PS4 code.
Right.
As soon as we found out that we were going to be getting a PC code, I didn't redeem it because it's like, well, I'm not going to take 2 of their codes. Maybe they'll give it to somebody else.
Okay.
I didn't tell them that I didn't do it, but
we'll let them know.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. And that's out on like every device now. It's on PC. It's on console. All 3 consoles, I think.
That is a game that I'm playing on PC. That's a game I'm playing on PC, and I can see how that would work very well on the Switch.
You know what's funny is there's this whole kind of genre, like a side genre. I wouldn't call it a subgenre. I wouldn't call it a genre, but it's a sort of style of games that's Stranded Sail, Sparklight, which we'll be reviewing here pretty soon. That's another one of those games. They're sort of these
Stardew
Valley. Yeah, exactly. It's like these indie games where you have busy work that's like directly tied into the plot, but it's actual busy work. It's like a busy work game.
Death Stranding,
exactly. Yeah, the P babies. It's like this weird like side tangent genre of all these other genres, but they all, and like some of them visually are really similar too. So yeah. Let's see what I've been playing. I've been playing a couple games. I've been playing a bunch of games. More of the Ring Fit Adventure, and that's fuck man, it's beating me up. That game is beating me up. I think I put in the other night.
Swole?
Yeah, I'm getting swole like Drago the Dragon. The other night I put in like an hour and a half. I wanted to just beat one of the levels from start to finish, but I had to grind a little bit. So, like any RPG. So I played for about an hour, a little over an hour actually, and not realizing I was working out that much because I was kind of taking each like sub level at a time, and then finally looked at the clock. I'm like, holy shit, it's 11:30, and I started at 10:30. I was just gonna do my daily workout, and I slept good, but then the whole rest of the day, I think it was like Tuesday. The whole rest of the day Tuesday, I was in like pain just from working out on that thing so late. Still really interesting. Curious to see if they do anything else with it. After I complete this game, if I complete the game, I'm probably not gonna go back. I mean, I'll have completed it. So,
I mean, if Nintendo's track record is anything to go by, they'll release an expansion 6 months from now and then never talk about it again.
Yeah, exactly. Just like Labo. But this would be a good, like I think we mentioned before, this would be a good one where they release like Mario or like Zelda expansions, because I would play the fuck out of those, man. That could be kind of fun to do.
Do you have an avatar in that game? Like, does it ever go to a cutscene and you're like, are you the Wii Fit trainer?
You look like one of those trainers. It's very similar, but you have hair now. But you look like one of those trainers. You can kind of select either male or female. The hair color is always red, but you can select eye color, which is for no reason. Like, you can't really see the eyes all that well. And then, like, skin tone. That's really all you can do. But the hair color is the same. So, whatever. I want blue hair, but right now I have red hair in the game. Anyways, yeah, that's been my daily, whether it's from like 15 minutes to an hour. But what I've been really playing for review, 2 games. I think I posted my review of actually 3 games. I had like 2 reviews. I had 2 reviews go up this week, and I'm working on my 3rd one. I can't remember whatever game I posted on Monday, but I'll get into Mario and Sonic at the Olympics.
That is the one that is posted.
Yes, and there was one posted right before that, like the day before then as well. But
Tangle Tower.
Yeah, I didn't really talk. I kind of talked about it last time, so I won't go into too much. Except that I finished it and wrote the review for that. But Mario and Sonic, interesting concept, because I actually kind of liked the previous Mario and Sonic games because they were Olympic games. There's like an Olympic style hub. There's rankings. It really kind of feels like a sports event. This has none of that. There's 2 modes. There's one single player mode, and you're going through the story. And there's an actual story in this which takes place not in the Olympics, but like during the Olympics. You're basically like getting you're a tourist in Japan as the Olympics are taking place. So you have to quote unquote win gold medals in the retro mode, so in the Tokyo 64 mode, to get out of that mode so that you can beat Eggman and Koopa. Sorry for all the spoilers right now, blah, 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 but you find this stuff out in the first like 30 seconds of the game.
Are Eggman and Koopa teamed up?
They're teamed up, and they make
Wow.
It's funny because they make all the Mario characters into pussies. I'm just gonna say it that way because they're like big crybabies. Even Koopa is like a crybaby. Mario and Luigi are crybaby. Like it's a different take on it. Like everybody in the Sonic, and yes, I know this is a Sega developed game. Actually, it's not even Sega didn't develop. Sega published it. A different company. Alpha Dream, the company that went bankrupt that made Mario and Luigi games, they were RPGs. They developed. I think this was the last game that they worked on, and it's not good. The story, it's like there's a ton of fucking talking in between events. So you're zapped into the past, and so part of it takes place in the past and then in the future, and you're kind of bouncing back and forth, which is a novel idea. I actually kind of like that idea. I like the idea of having this story mode in there, and it's cute, it's fine. It's not bad by any means, but there's so much dead air in between events that you'll do like a 100-yard dash, and you'll play your turn, and then that's it. And it says, "Congrats, you won," because the computer or the game's kind of set up so that you'll win. Even if you do poorly, you'll win just about every single event. And then so you'll win the event, you'll get the gold medal, and then you have to hop around this overworld, hop into different areas, talk to all the characters in there so you can find out, how the next section unlocks. You'll go to another part of the map, do the same thing, go to another part of the map till you track down whoever, and then you go into another mini game there, and then you get the gold medal and you do the whole process over and over again. So there's a lot of like traversing, and the overworld, I gotta say, is it's like a map and you're bouncing from point to point. But
when do you get to go to the Olympic Village and participate in the orgy?
just the fucking none, unfortunately.
That's
Actually that's a great point. There's no Olympic Village in this game, and again, it does not feel like the Olympics. The only like remotely Olympic thing, besides there are mini games, but the grandeur of the Olympics is not there. In previous Mario, this is weird saying this, previous Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games, it really felt like you were at the Olympics, and there was this sense of like size and scale. Not in this game. There's like 4 characters: Mario, Sonic, Luigi, and like Bowser, and maybe 5 characters, and Eggman, and that's it. They're the only ones that really matter in this game, and it's
what
really
about Tails?
Tails pops up in like a cutscene. By the way, these cutscenes are horrible because the way text works out in the modern era is you'll have, let's say it's Luigi talking to Toad. You'll have Luigi come up on the left side of the screen. You'll have Toad come up on the right side, and they'll both be sort of static, mode with like a background. And text bubbles will pop up. They're talking, and then Luigi will like shift position, or he'll go off the screen and Princess Toadstool will come in and she'll say something, and then Toad will slide off the right and another person will come in. And it does this for like a minute and a half of these really bad conversations. And those are cutscenes. And I'm thinking, God, that could have been... And it just repeats it. And it's not well thought out. It's very... it feels very rushed. It feels very much like they had ideas that they never like fully realized. And it's kind of sad because the mini games are actually fun. It's just everything else around the mini games is bad. There's no Olympic feel to this. So, multiplayer mode, you can't host your own like Olympic tournaments. It's just one-on-one games, which is pretty. You want to have tournaments and stuff. You want to have like a ranking system, even in multiplayer. If you're playing couch co-op with friends, nothing like that. So, yeah. It's the best characters, like they actually feel like the characters in the Mario and Sonic universes, so there's some novelty there, and the mini games are good, but especially those fucking retro ones, those are awesome. But
is it true and I've only heard this, I haven't confirmed it myself. Is it true that Sonic wears floaties?
Oh shit, I don't even remember.
I was told that Sonic wears floaties in the pool events because Sonic cannot swim in the video games.
That's not a that would be a dope ass detail actually if he's wearing floaties but that would be cheating then, right?
He can't swim, so
I'll have to take that out. Okay, I'm marking that down as a to do is to check that out. Yeah. So Mario and Sonic, it is it just it feels incomplete. So, and then I've been playing a game that's a rehash, kind of a director's cut of games in the past. This is the second time this game has been given a director's cut of a director's cut, and that's New Super Lucky's Tale. Lucky's Tale came out for the Oculus Rift years ago, so it was a VR game where you're this little fox running around. And he kind of played out like Moss and some other VR games, where you're actually like
2016, I think.
Maybe even before then. Who knows? Or was it? Maybe it was HoloLens. I don't know. It was one of those.
Oh, it was the Rift.
It was the Rift. I gotta say,
2017.
Was it 2017?
Well,
but
maybe.
I thought it was before then. Anyways, Lucky, the character's name is Lucky. Remember who used to run Oculus at the time? Palmer Lucky. So I got to think that there must have been some freaking tie into that. They're trying to get on his good side. And then it was released as Super Lucky's Tale on the
2016.
2016, okay. On the Xbox One in 2018, I believe.
2017.
2017, okay. A couple years go by. They decide to release it for the Switch as New Super Lucky's Tale, which is like a director's cut of a director's cut. And it's good. It's fun. It is a... it kind of reminds me of the Skylanders games, like not in a bad way. I shouldn't say like the money hoarding toys to life stuff, but the platforming and kind of the 3D world, that whole 3D mascot world stuff. I still have a soft spot for that. The Spyros, I didn't like the Crash Bandicoot very much, but Spyro is really good. The Skylanders stuff, obviously, and Mario 64, that kind of thing. This falls in with that crowd. So there's definitely this retro 3D platformer feel. And the controls aren't perfect, but it's very chill. It's not difficult at all. Graphics, the visuals are okay. I mean, it's like a 3 or 4 year old game. Even on the Switch, it doesn't look super great, but I think it's just the design is what has aged, not necessarily the strength of the Switch. But I like it. It's very nice and chill and relaxing. It feels perfect on the Switch. I mean, I think folks who like Ukulele are gonna like this game. It's very, very much that kind of retro platformer feel.
Which are doing really well these days.
Yeah, exactly. There's that whole big resurgence right now, and this is real. I mean, it's got to be Unity and Unreal has that shit built in, but I like it. It's like it is what I need to veg out on and play, because I know there are specific goals to the level, and I can knock those goals out, and I'm done. And there's like a very good sense of accomplishment that you finished the level, and you can go back and try to find some secrets and things like that. But yeah, it plays really well. The music's actually kind of cool. It's got a nice kind of poppy soundtrack, and story is whatever. But you're a fox, and you have to collect pages for a book, as we all do. But I like it. It's cool. I'm digging it.
Isn't that the same thing you do in Ukulele?
It might be. Totally might be. I haven't played Ukulele. I have it, but I haven't played it. It's one of those games, on my digital backlog.
You can skip the first one. Second one's really good.
Second one's that 2D platformer, right?
Yeah.
I've heard good things about that, but maybe I will get that second one as well. But yeah, New Super Lucky's Tale. I think it's a good addition on the Switch, and it feels kind of perfect for a Nintendo console, And this is definitely a year without a real, true 3D platformer on the Switch. I mean, I'm sure there have been, but the Spiral.
So let me pose this to you. We're living in an age where Ukulele came out and it was fine, and then Ukulele 2 came out and slightly different game, but it was well received. We've had 3 almost continuous years of Lucky's Tale, and
Yeah.
they're all varying levels of good.
Yep.
Banjo and Kazooie were in Smash.
Yeah. Yeah.
When's the next Conquer?
When's the next There was a Conquer game that came out like last year. That was
there really?
There was garbage. It maybe have been this year.
Well, when's the next good Conquer?
Oh yeah, there you go. That's a better question. When's the next good Conquer? Oh, it came out this year. There was like a 2D runner. The Bit Trip Runner guys made like a Conquer game.
And it sucked?
Well, it's a free runner. A side-scrolling platforming runner.
Give me Bad Fur Day 2.
Yeah, that was good shit. Anyways, new Super Lucky's Tale. I recommend it. I recommend it more than Mario and Sonic. So I think I recommend it because you know exactly what you're paying for when you get it, and I think that's kind of comforting these days. Definitely, that's not the case with Death Stranding. That's all around the board. People are a lot of folks are loving it. A lot of folks are completely confused by it.
I'm so excited to get it and walk.
I'm interested in getting it too. Anyway, that's all I've been playing. Plus some mobile shit.
I'm gonna do so much walking.
I think so. I know. Let's see. Zach is playing it. I think Sam's picked it up. I know Corey's playing it on staff, and I'm sure Tom has been playing it as well. So at least 4 folks on staff have already got it and are playing it. And I mean, Kojima did his job, right? We're all talking about it. I will say this though.
I don't think Sam's getting it till Monday.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, he mentioned it.
Or he's not playing it till Monday.
That might
something
be
like that.
That might be it. I will say this: my barista at Tim Hortons. Shout out to that Canadian brand, Tim Hortons, which I love.
What up, Tim Hortons?
Tim Hortons. He's a huge PlayStation fanatic. So every time I go through the drive-through, I mean, we'll chat for like 3 or 4 minutes, and cars are piling up behind us, waiting to go. We'll talk about games and stuff. And he's been so excited for this game all year long. Oh, really since they announced it. He's been every time I go through it. Death Stranding's next week. Death Stranding's coming up this week. The reviews went out, and he's been kind of looking at some of the videos and stuff. And so I drove through this morning. I'm like, hey, Death Stranding comes out. I'm like, you picking it up? And his response shocked me. He said, I don't know. Everything I'm reading about it is kind of turning me off of picking it up right away. I might just get the Outer Worlds because that seems like right up my alley. I'm like, wow. I know you didn't really super love the Outer Worlds.
I could totally back him up on that. I think the Outer Worlds played very well.
Okay, well there you go. That might be what
I wasn't a fan, but that was more thematic issues than anything.
Okay.
As a video game, I thought Outer Worlds was really good.
So that's what he said. So I'm like, oh, that's an interesting one where he said, I might go to the Outer Worlds. So all right, who knows? But yeah, congrats to Jeff Keighley on the development of Death Stranding. I mean, I know he put a lot of time and effort into that.
Looking forward to see
the Game of the Year award in a few weeks here. Congratulations
at the Keighleys.
At the Keighleys. I'm going to tweet that out. Congratulations to Death Stranding winning the Game of the Year award at the Keighleys. It's amazing that Jeff can develop the game and host a show at the same time.
I just want to throw this out there. I think some people call the Video Game Awards the Keighleys as like a joke. But in my head, it's like the Oscars.
The Game Awards is like the Oscars?
Like the awards you get at the Game Awards are like you win an Oscar, you win a Keighley.
You win a Keighley? Okay, I see. The actual physical award is a Keighley.
Because the Oscar, it's named after somebody named Oscar, right?
I think so, yeah.
It was like a surname, I think, but it was like... But yeah, so it's like, you win a Keighley.
It was, I think... No, Oscar may have been the first name. I think the last name was the Grouch.
Oh, yeah.
Oscar the Grouch.
Oscar
D. Grouch, yeah, exactly. But sorry, horrible joke. But yeah, I like you win a Keighley. That's actually smart. Like MTV has their Moon Man. So this is the Keighley. The Academy Awards. They're called the Academy Awards, not the Oscars.
There you go. So you go to the Academy Awards. You go to the Video Game Awards. You win an Oscar. You win a Keighley.
Okay, that's it. We're gonna call it the Keighleys from now on.
So apparently it was named after a dude, but it was just because someone thought that the award looked like their uncle.
Oh, that's funny.
Apparently.
I like that. We're totally calling it the Keighleys from now on. You're winning a Keighley. Hashtag Keighley. That's it. We're doing hashtag Keighleys.
Hashtag Dorito Pope.
Hashtag Dorito Pope. Dorito that.
I love you, Jeff.
News.
Hey, what's up?
Let's get into some news.
I have some news.
All right, let's do it.
Here's one from today, because we're on a Friday. I wouldn't have had this story. Death Stranding is going to launch simultaneously on Steam and the Epic Games Store, and they're
Oh.
aiming at summer of 2020.
Yeah, I saw people posting the Steam page.
Basically, it's just because pre-orders went up.
Okay.
You can get it both. It's coming at the same time. The one thing that I did see on the Steam pre-order page is you can see comments from people.
Uh-huh.
And the top comment at the time that I checked was titled, "Is the main character a futonari?" Followed by the comment, "Is the main character a futonari? Isn't he carrying the baby but also for some reason pregnate?" Which
I think you may have just named this episode.
is the main character a futonari?
Is the main character a futonari?
Yeah, that was the top comment when I looked, and I thought it was very funny. That's actually that in terms of that being news, that's actually very
news.
interesting.
Yeah.
Well, it's interesting because I think it might be the first like notable game since this whole Epic thing has started that will launch simultaneously. Mm-hmm. Everybody's been talking about like, well, this game launched on Epic and it did great numbers. So obviously they're proving themselves, but it did great numbers in a vacuum. Like, of course, Borderlands 3 is going to sell big numbers if the only place you can get it is on the Epic Games platform. Yeah. But now that you can get like Death Stranding 2020,
it will be interesting.
Yeah.
Is this? Are you going to transition into other potential Steam news?
I was going to actually follow it up with another piece of Death Stranding news.
Okay,
but
go ahead.
You have something for Steam.
Well, I'll just throw this out there. The I guess in one of the latest updates, people have been looking through the Steam code and found it's like streaming, cloud gaming streaming code.
Yes, yeah.
Which we've been talking about that. I think we even brought it up in a couple episodes back that you give me streaming Steam games so you can play them anywhere. Then all of a sudden, I think you have Steam. Steam would, to me, that would be the premier place to get streaming games. Would be Steam.
Sure.
My whole fucking library takes up a ton of space on my PC, on my Mac. But imagine if I could play any game. You don't have to code it for Mac or PC because it's just streaming. I think that is huge for Steam. So, yeah. And maybe Death Stranding could be one of the kickoff games for that.
I've got a library of something like 400 games.
Oh, shit.
There are so many of them that I just don't play because, like, I don't want to install it to play it for a few hours. But if I could just hit play and be streaming it, totally.
I think there may be opportunity to do that. Like, yeah, you and I think the Game Pass works slightly in this way, where you download and install the game. But I can imagine you downloading and installing the games that you actually want, and then the rest are just streamable. Some combination of both. But
sure.
Cool. All right, yeah. So more Death Stranding news. Go ahead.
Yeah. So this was something I saw on Twitter the other day, which I thought was interesting.
By the way, I will say I like having just you and I on these shows. We're very concise when it comes to topics. Hey, Ryan. Gan is always asking us about or talking to us about how he likes listening to the shows when he's working out and doing other stuff around the house and
pump that iron.
Pumping iron. But we're making sure this is very concise and perfect for you.
So this is another not really news, but I thought was interesting.
Sure.
Let me see what I have written down here. There will not be a review of Death Stranding in the next print issue of Edge. And this is from a Twitter thread from Nathan Brown. Nathan _Brown on Twitter, if you want to look it up. All of you lovely listeners. He said, "There's no review of Death Stranding in the next issue of Edge because the embargo insisted we finish the game before we could review it. Print deadline was a factor, but we ran out of enthusiasm long before we ran out of time."
Oh, shit.
Second follow-up tweet. "Put it this way, we probably won't be reviewing it in the following issue either."
God, that's unbelievable. That's awesome, by the way. Not just unbelievable, that's awesome. Follow-up
tweet. "Or put it this way, I told my wife this morning that the Death Stranding reviews were out, and she said, 'Oh, is that the game about backpacks you hated?'"
That's the general consensus from... Here's what's interesting about Death Stranding. First of all, that is a pretty funny story about it.
That was very funny.
Second of all, I didn't realize there's still Edge was around. So that's good. Third of all, thrice. You're seeing the folks who are actually doing their critical work all kind of lean towards, or are seemingly leaning towards Death Stranding being, the backpack game, right? I guess the best way to say it is a backpack game. Not necessarily, not worrying about fun, not talking about fun factor or completionism or anything like that, but it's some tedium and that kind of thing.
A walking simulator.
It's a walking
if you will.
Right? Weren't we supposed to hate walking simulators that were, whatever. But you're getting the fans who are loving this game. And I think shout out to Jeff Grubb, who actually put it best when he said that enthusiasts give you their time with the game and what they experience. Critics tell, and I'm paraphrasing his tweet, critics tell you if you should invest your time with a game. And so critics are coming out saying, you may have better options if you want to invest your time on a game like than this. I mean, you really got to be into Kojima to be into these types of games, and you may then absolutely love it, which is totally fine. But I thought that was actually a very cool way of describing critics versus kind of enthusiast bloggers type of thing.
Can I just, since we're on the topic of Death Stranding, can I just point out I think the most mind-blowing thing about Death Stranding is that Kojima put a game out in the time frame it would take to put a game out.
Yeah, congratulations.
All the love in the world to Hideo Kojima. I fucking love his games, but if he announces a game, I don't expect that game for a very long time.
Oh yeah. What's also kind of interesting to me is, I don't want to say what's kind of interesting, but I'm sure he already has plenty of ideas for what he's doing next. I'm sure he's already started working on whatever he's doing next. And
funny that you say that.
Are we going into another news story?
It was a quote from Kojima himself saying that he'd very much like to pivot his studio towards making film in the future. Which, yeah, have you seen the video games that guy makes? They might as well be film anyway. Metal Gear Solid 5 was like a departure in terms of that, but like I still remember Metal Gear Solid 4 with its 17 hours of cutscenes or whatever.
Something crazy. You could sit back and watch everything on YouTube and never, in like, it would take you more than a day.
I'm actually going to look that up really quick because
I think you're right. I think it was like 17 hours of cutscenes.
I don't think it was that bad. It was 7 hours and 41 minutes for all the cutscenes in Metal Gear Solid 4.
There was an extra digit in front of there, but yeah. That's insane. But I think that's perfect. I think he had ideas for that in the development of this game. He was starting to, pull ideas to get or pull things together as the game was taking place. He probably thought, "Oh shit, this would make a great movie." Now that I have access to all these actors, I'm going to put them in a film, in a CG film. So I think this is right up his alley.
He's sitting there going, "Oh, it's too bad. Like, actors is great, but oh wait, I do know a director.
Yeah,
he's friends with Del Toro."
Director. I mean, he'd probably want to direct it himself. At least produce it. Definitely want to produce it himself. But yeah, it's. I think once he started getting hype, you know what's interesting about? Here's my theory. Sorry, not interesting, but here's my theory, is that he got far enough along in Death Stranding where he realized, oh shit, I have a lot of connections now and have a lot of ideas, and I better strike while the iron's hot and start getting these other ideas going. So I'm going to finish Death Stranding on time and not fiddle with it, and then I'll start working on this other stuff too. So I almost wonder if he had such a good time creating Death Stranding that he wanted to start doing other things and then just wanted to push Death Stranding, a little bit quicker.
Like, I think my favorite thing about Death Stranding, having not played it yet.
Yeah, neither have I. I've got to say, neither have I.
I think my favorite thing about this whole experience has been the fact that, like, when a game comes out, if it's really good, every review is, up there. Mm-hmm. If it's really bad, everybody agrees it's really bad. This thing comes out, and it's one of the few games where it's either people are like, no, it's really good, but then people are also like, no, it's not a good video game. Mm-hmm. And then there's people in the middle going, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, it's all over the board. It's
like mechanically, it does exactly what it's meant to do. Mm-hmm. Like, I've checked with people who are playing it, and nobody's found any bugs. The voice acting is apparently fine. The music's apparently really good. The visuals are astounding.
I think I was listening to the Giant Bombcast for like the first time in a long time, and they made a good point. I don't know if it was Alex Navarro or someone mentioned it, or whoever was on the show. Maybe it was Gersman. I'm not sure. But somebody said that the Metal Gear games, they got crazier and crazier as they went along because there was so much history. People played all of them, so they expected crazy, right? But you're not afforded that with Death Stranding. Like, you jump in and it's immediately crazy, and that I think is maybe where some of our fellow critics, writers, and reviewers and all that kind of stuff are saying, yeah, there wasn't this build up that you had in your Metal Gear games in this game, and so that's why it's sort of jarring, and I think that's why it's getting kind of reviews all over the place. Like, I wonder if the first Death Stranding would have been simpler from a story-wise. Maybe the first Death Stranding took place when the Earth, when the U.S. was falling apart or something.
Well, I get that point of view, but like from a meta perspective, as the Metal Gear games got crazier and crazier because they were building on history at the same time. Meta Gear. At the same time, Kojima had the buildup of those games getting crazier, and so it's just like I'm like, as soon as Death Stranding was announced, I was just like, this is gonna be buck ass wild. Kojima's writing this game at this point in time after coming off of Metal Gear. Like, this game gonna be nuts.
Yeah, and I think it is. It seems like it is nuts. That's for sure. Which I am looking forward to it. It's on my purchase backlog. I have it in my Black Friday to buy list. By the way, do you guys do like Black Friday up there?
It exists. Stores do things for it, but it's not a thing here.
It's
like
not
it is
as crazy this year as it is in the past. Like, for games,
we've never had a stampeding death.
Okay, we have those all the time. In fact, it wouldn't be an American holiday if there wasn't a stampeding death. But
I actually don't know if we've never had a stampeding death.
It would actually be an actual stampede, like buffalo or bison or something. But the game deals this year aren't like. They're not great. They're not like spectacular. So I have like a good list of games that I want to pick up. But then after I saw the deals that are listed so far, because all the ads have finally all leaked, I thought, you know what? My backlog may not grow by more than a game or two this year. I think Outer Worlds and, I don't know. Maybe that might be it. That might be the only game I pick up. Maybe Death Stranding, but that's it. So we'll see. Kojima, crazy as shit, but that's okay. What else you got story wise? Is that it? You got anything else?
No, I got a couple more.
Okay, good.
So I have a section here that says the BlizzCon stuff because I couldn't remember we talked about it last week. I don't think we had. Specifically.
Oh yeah, it came out right after our.
Yeah, podcast. I thought so.
Let's talk about it.
We'll run through the games really quick. The new World of Warcraft expansion, Shadowlands, was announced. The new Hearthstone stuff, which name I can never remember. Dragon Heist, Dragon Keep, Legend of the Dragon. I don't know. Which is coming with a fucking card game battle royale mode, which is playable now. I think.
Cool, actually.
I'm interested.
Yeah.
Overwatch 2 was announced. Along with a cinematic trailer that if you watch that cinematic trailer and you've watched any of those, you realize Overwatch 2 is set about 20 minutes after the first game. Because the first game was set and then all of like the cinematics came mostly beforehand. Like they were all prequels.
Yeah.
And then there was one that happens immediately after it, and then this is set right after that. So it's like, okay. Overwatch 2 is cool because it's going to be cross-playable with Overwatch 1. All the stuff that is unique to Overwatch 2 is going to be just for Overwatch 2, but the PvP, like the Overwatch 1 gameplay, you can play on either game and be playing with people from the other game.
Which makes me believe it's like a glorified expansion more than anything else.
Yeah. Standalone expansion, something like that.
Yeah.
Technically, but there's that. Diablo 4 was announced.
Yeah.
It has no release date, but that game looks cool. It looks very much like Diablo 3. And
I thought they announced Diablo 4. Well, I'm sorry. They announced it for PS4, Xbox One, and PC.
Yeah.
Okay.
And speaking of things similar to Diablo 3, this news leaked the other day And this is from Timur Hussein at GameSpot. Diablo 4 will be online only.
Oh, I didn't hear that.
It will not be no offline mode. And the lead designer, named Angela Del Priori, said, we're not going to support an offline mode, but as I said before, nothing in Diablo 4 is going to require partying up. You can play solo, and dungeons are private. Campaign quest areas will also remain private. And I read that, and I'm just like, why don't you let me play offline then?
Yeah.
Well, as it turns out, Diablo 4 will have cosmetic microtransactions.
Ooh.
So they want you online so you can spend that money.
We're in the era where everything is fucking online now and microtransaction filled. Yeah, that sucks. I don't like this story. Undo this story. No, it's Activision had their numbers.
I recently bought and purchased Diablo 3 recently.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I'd never played it before. I recently bought it. That game's fine.
I picked it up I had it for PC, and then I stopped playing it. Like, I got it on release. Stopped playing it after I put there were like three main chapters or three main parts in the game. I think I got to the first big part halfway through the game total, and then I stopped playing it, and then picked it up again somewhere. I don't know for what. And then finally this third time I picked it up for the Switch, and I fucking love playing it on the Switch because there's no need for updates all the time, and it's nice to just kind of grab it and chill on the couch and it's a good game to play on the couch while you're watching TV or something going on in the background.
Can you play it on the Switch without being connected to the internet?
Yes, you can.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Yes. Now Diablo 4, who knows? Diablo 3 totally can. Yeah. Fucking. I think Activision had their numbers, their fiscal numbers, and they were abysmal. Even after Call of Duty made a shit ton of money, everything else is like collapsed. Like. The Crash shit that's not making them any money. World of Warcraft isn't making them as much money as it used to, even with the classic stuff. So I think I have this weird feeling they're going to be pushing a lot of this stuff out a lot quicker. Like, I would not be surprised if Overwatch 2 and Diablo 4 both come out in 2020. Like, I can almost see Overwatch 2 in the summer and Diablo 4 in the fall being a PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Scarlet, kind of crossover title. So, and Switch. I do think Diablo 4 will come to Switch. Maybe not right away, but I think that game is probably being worked on. I think they said they actually sold really well on the Switch with Diablo 3. So,
I'm not surprised.
But yeah, who knows?
Yeah. The other thing that happened during BlizzCon was, I'm forgetting the dude's name. Because he's not the other guy.
Oh yeah, this is the president guy.
It wasn't Jay Allard, was it?
No, I know who you're talking about. Yeah. Okay.
Anyway, the guy who delivered the opening speech, basically offered a non-apology about the Hong Kong stuff, which people were irritated about.
Did not mention China or Hong Kong by name.
Didn't name anything specifically. Did not name it. It just said, "Oh, could have done it a little better." Since then, Jeff Kaplan was out there saying, yeah, we should unban that dude. Which is really fucking funny. A bunch of the people from the Hearthstone team were like, no, this is messed up.
Well, I think it's the head
of the Overwatch team.
I can almost guarantee you that the staff probably feels all one way, and then you have upper management who wants to appease all the money coming in, 10-cent cash, that 10-cent money, 10 cent more like 10 billion cent. So that's what.
Well, the Jeff Kaplan thing is interesting because Jeff Kaplan is mostly known as being the head of the Overwatch team. Like, that's how he introduces himself in the videos. But he's the VP of Blizzard.
Yeah.
So, and he's out there saying like, no, we should unban this dude. Like, that's pretty crazy. But yeah. So
that apology was weak. Weak sauce.
He quoted Trump in that apology.
Did he really? What did he say? Make Blizzard great again?
Make gaming great again.
Oh, jeez. People got to stop saying make whatever great again because it's very played out. It's a joke in and of itself now. Got that? Ugh. Everybody on the planet, just stop. We're kind of done with it.
Speaking of jokes on the planet, you hear about this China shit?
No, what's this latest one?
So they're instituting a gaming curfew.
Oh, yeah.
For minors. So the hot points of this curfew are gamers under the age of 18 will be banned from gaming between the hours of 10 p.m. and 8 a.m.
Sure. Good
On
luck.
weekdays, minors can only play for 90 minutes a day. They can play for 3 hours on weekends and holidays. And they're imposing limits on how much money can be added to your online gaming accounts. It's between $29 and $57 per month, depending on your age.
Wow.
Yeah.
What's funny is if this were to be remote, if this were brought up in the U.S. or Canada or anywhere else, it would get shot down almost instantly. But this is being brought up in China, and it'll go through.
And just in case anybody's wondering about those weird dollar amounts, it's because it's set in yuan, which is the Chinese currency, and they were round numbers, but that's what they are in U.S. dollars, 29 to 57. Yeah, so they're gaming curfew. That's gonna bite the market.
Yes, it will. Yes, it will. China does not care. They've made it a point not to care about games from, especially from consoles and that kind of stuff, because it's nearly impossible to get consoles there. Non-Chinese consoles and stuff, and the Chinese consoles that have been there have not been very good. They're very much a mobile marketplace.
Yeah, you remember the Nvidia Shield? That was big in China, probably.
I don't know.
No, that thing flopped.
It flopped in China. The Xbox is in China. That thing flopped. The PlayStation's out there. I think they're trying to get the Switch out there right now. But none of these things are doing a ton. I think there is a big... China functions very differently from what it sounds like. Yeah, that's really weird. Having a curfew. Good luck with that, because Chinese kids are like kids everywhere else. They're smart, and they're going to use their parents' accounts and their parents' names, and they're going to play. So
yeah,
I'm sure there's some thing out there that says, oh, if you're a parent and you get caught giving your kid the account, it's like giving cigarettes to a minor, and you're going to get in trouble. But I guarantee
trouble in China is being sent to a fucking re-education camp. So
yeah. So who knows?
I've got one more piece of thing. Sure. I hesitate to call this news, but you know me. There are certain things that I absolutely have to include. Red Dead 2 PC not doing super well.
Really? Okay, I didn't hear this.
So this is a two-part story. Part one is that trying to run it at all, it just has a shitload of issues. People are dealing with game stuttering. People are dealing with like crashed desktop. People are dealing with blue screen issues. People are dealing with dead sound issues. People are dealing with drop frame rates. As of when I picked this story up, which was Wednesday afternoon, people were suggesting if you go in and if you disable if you have multi-core processors in your computer, if you disable them, like some of them, it'll make the game run better. If you set your graphics like a very specific way, it'll make the game run better. I put this on low, not disabled. Put this on medium, not disabled, not on high. If you disable your antivirus, it'll work fine, apparently.
Okay.
And if you change your audio outputs after you've launched the game, but before the audio breaks. So like if you have a front headphone jack and a back headphone jack,
you're done.
Yeah. And part two was that according to some tests, if you wanted to run Red Dead 2 on Ultra, even having a card as high as like a GTX 1060 will not do it. You need at least a 1080 or higher.
Console folks are out there right now saying, "So you should have fucking stayed with the console because we're better." That's really weird. I mean, it's not weird. It's Rockstar, and they're pushing the tech as much as they can. But people want this game on PC badly, so I'm curious to see what the sales numbers actually end up being like.
Well, so I play a lot of GTA Online.
Yeah, the game's still massive.
The game's still huge. I play it mostly for the races. Okay. Like I don't really run around the city. I don't really do any of that. I just mostly load into races and play those. I'm very excited for Red Dead 2 PC. After
horse races?
Horse races, but after about a year, once the modders get their teeth into it. Because, like, Rockstar, the best part about the races in GTA Online are the cunning stunt races.
They're already modding the fuck out of Red Dead 2, though. Like, they found there's like a missing princess that they found because they were, going through the data and shit, the code.
Yep. After about a year, I'm excited to see where that is. Having said that, I don't have a computer that could run it. I don't think. I don't have a video card that could run it. I've only got a GTX 960.
I have a laptop that barely functions, so I ain't getting able to run this game.
Anyway, I include that because I like to shit on Rockstar.
And they're laughing all the way to the bank because I think they just said that, like, GTA 5 has now hit 115 million copies.
Mm-hmm. I've bought three, I think.
Yeah, that's fucking insane. Hey, by the way, here's a number. Super Smash Bros. Ultimate is the highest selling fighting game of all time. It's outsold Street Fighter 2. It's outsold any Tekken game. It's outsold, Mortal Kombat. It's the highest selling fighting game of all time at like 15 million or something. That's crazy. And it came out last year. So yeah, good for Nintendo, I guess. That's bizarre.
Congrats to Sakurai.
Congrats to Sakurai, who can finally sleep. No, he can't.
No, he's still working.
He put
were you about to talk about the interview?
No, I was going to talk the video that he posted that they had for Terry. But go ahead, talk about the interview.
Oh, so he did an interview. Somebody asked him about whether or not Mai Shiranai, also from King of Fighters or Fatal Frame or something, would be included, and he went on a tear about the difference between censorship bureaus in North America and Japan.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he was saying, if you want to include a character in a video game in North America, one of the first things they say, or one of the first things they check for is guns. If I want to release a character like Mai Shiranai in Japan, the censorship bureau, one of the first things they say is what happens when the character turns upside down, because they look for panty shots. And so he was like, I would never be able to include a character like that because
that's insane. I mean,
she's basically got 2 strips of cloth for a skirt. Yeah. So,
but at the same time, she's in other games.
Yeah, but Smash Brothers is rated E for everyone, isn't it?
That's true. Yeah, that would have to change, I'm sure.
Yeah, I think it's rated E for everyone. It might be T.
Yeah, it might be T just because it's or whatever is between E and T. Who knows? Yeah, there you go. Sales numbers. What else you got? Anything else?
That is everything. That's all. That's all I got. I was this week really fucked me up.
Yeah.
Because we were 2 days late.
Yeah.
We're
still here,
recorded. We recorded last week, and then the next day, I think it was the very next day, I was on the Game Beat Decides podcast. So, and which I helped put the news together for. I basically did this on that show.
The news twice.
So all of the news that I'm covering now, I'm just sitting here going, I think I talked about this. I feel like I talked about this.
All the Death Stranding stuff is new, at least. The Death Stranding stuff is new.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very
especially the back of the box quote from Steam's pre-order page.
What was that?
Is the main character of Futonari.
That's the title of our podcast this week.
It's such a fucking funny quote. But no, that's all the news I got. That's everything I got.
Aaron.
That's all the news.
Aaron, thanks for collecting the news, man. Thanks for being on the podcast this week. We did it. Just the two of us. It
happens like every 2 months.
It does, because we can't get enough people, but whatever. We have a good time. Like I said, we're concise. We have better interaction, I think, because we don't have like Sam or Rexley or Zach or anybody just butting in and going on these diatribes. Just us. We rock.
I haven't given the link out because I'm not the one hosting it anymore, so we can't have people break into the show like Jeff Grubb.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good call. With that, we're gonna shut this bad boy down. You can find us at SideQuesting, SideQuesting.com, SideQuesting TV on the streaming stuff. This is on YouTube. It's on iTunes. So do your thing. Please, by the way, rate us. Give us 5 stars. If you've made it this far, give us 5 stars. Ryan Gann, if you made it this far, give us 5 stars, dude.
I'd be okay with 4.5.
4.5 if you could. You can find me at Dali Domovsky. I prefer 5 stars. You can find 4.5 star human being Aaron Scratty Bones, the Killer Kelly, Twitch affiliate Supreme at Scratty Bones all over the place.
4.5 stars more authentic.
That's a good point.
You
It's
see,
kind of
you
worth
see
it.
everything 5 stars. You're like, bot farm. You
5
see four
stars
and
is
a half
like
stars.
if you're filling out like surveys from like Target, wherever that they send you, like, hey, fill out the survey, and you're like 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, whatever, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10,
Yep.
instead of actually going through it, and then they'll throw you a loop.
4.5 stars. Like, oh, this cab driver picked me up and he was professional and he got me there on time. He did fart in the cab.
He did fart in the cab.
4.5 star.
We will not fart in your cab. We are SideQuesting. We'll see you next time. Adios. Bye. We love you. I'm gonna see if this works because I was telling you, but look out, everybody! I got myself a Stream Deck. I take it back. I've had this thing since like February. I'm finally using it now.
I got to get one of those.